Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at The Strangers Prey at Night, released in 2018 as a sequel to 2008's The Strangers. I love the original Strangers and consider it one of the scarier movies I've ever watched, although I do admit that might be because I watched it at like 2 in the morning when Chelsea was out of town. But while the original Strangers was made like a suspenseful 70s horror film and focused on a home invasion, the sequel is more of an homage to a flashy 80s slasher, with a lot more action going on and a more synth-heavy, thumping soundtrack. Although some people were disappointed by the sequel's drastic stylistic differences, for me, both movies work and are successful in the styles that they're going for. Plus, Prey at Night had Queen Christina Hendricks in it, so let's be real, I wasn't about to complain no matter how bad the rest of the movie was. The original Strangers is tied for the movie with the lowest kill count on this channel. Will its more slashery sequel be able to surpass it? Let's find out and get to the kills. The movie begins, much like the first one, with a bullshit warning that it was based on a true story. It's even less true this time through, but these fake warnings have a long tradition in horror movies, so I think it's kind of fun. Also fun is the Kim Wilde bumping from this truck as the strangers pull into the driveway of a trailer home. A knock at the front door awakens an elderly woman, and she gets out of bed at the knocker's insistence. She doesn't see anyone in the truck outside, but there is someone inside her living room, a long-haired stranger whose face is obscured in shadow. We don't see what happens to the older woman. All we know is that the masked intruder puts her hand in the face of the world's laziest guard dog, seriously, not even one bark for these burglars, and lies down in bed next to the still sleeping elder gentleman. With the cold open out of the way, it's time to meet this movie's main family. Hot Dad Mike is played by Martin Henderson, that guy from The Ring who's now rocking a much more handsome hairstyle. His goddess of a wife is Cindy, played by Sterling Cooper office manager Christina Hendricks. Oh, and cool, they're a couple who actually likes each other. That's nice. Their daughter Kinsey is starting boarding school tomorrow, so they're taking her and their baseball-loving son Luke to spend one last night together as a family at their aunt and uncle's. This family has some issues, thus the whole boarding school thing, but much like James and Kristen in the original movie, they feel like real people who still care about each other, thanks to the genuine performances given by the main cast. Late that night, they pull into Gatlin Lake Getaway, a trailer park home that'll look pretty familiar to anyone who was paying attention to that cold open 10 minutes ago. The trailer park home is a bigger setting than the summer home confinement of the first film, but between all the other residents being gone for the season and the pervasive misty weather on this evening, I think it's an excellent eerie setting for more stranger sociopathy. Cindy gets the keys for their trailer from the office, apparently left there by her Uncle Marvin with a smiley face note, and the family pulls into the trailer's driveway without noticing the same smiley face on the mailbox out in front. In case you feel like you're missing something, no, there weren't any smiley faces in the original. It's something they randomly added for this movie. It's whatever. After the family gets settled into their new home for the night and those sexy parents start a smooching, there's a knock at the door that interrupts them.
No, don't get up. I've got it.
Who's out there through the window, Cindy?
It's a girl.
Uh-oh, we've been here before. Yep, it's that same blonde stranger from the first film, albeit played by a different actor, and she's asking that same old eternal stranger's question.
Is Tamara home?
Cindy says, nah, this trailer Tammy free, so the creepy girl leaves. Yeah, that was maybe a little weird, but I'm sure everything will be okay for this family, right? Despite Mike's best efforts to dad his way into Kinsey's heart, she's still upset about the boarding school thing and leaves the trailer to be by herself. Her brother Luke finds her with a cigarette and teases her about her Bill Clinton style of smoking it.
You know you're supposed to inhale those?
They have a frank sibling conversation about the difficulties of growing up, and after he tries to keep her lungs healthy for her, they start to head back, not noticing the stranger in the far shadows on the plate. Oh, there she go. Back at the trailer, Cindy stands in front of a mirror telling lies.
I look so tired.
Yeah, tired of being perfection, maybe. The lovey-dovey couple once again gets a knock at the door, and when Mike answers it, he gets the same question as before.
Is Tamara home?
No, dude, Tamara's never home. Get the fuck out of here. You know something, Cindy? That girl ain't right. In fact, her behavior is strange enough for Cindy to grow concerned about their kids still being gone.
I'm gonna get my shoes.
I'm sure they're okay.
That girl weirded me out, hon.
Yeah, that was...
God, I love the acting in this movie, especially from the parents, you know, if you couldn't tell already. The kids find a trailer that looks like it's been broken into, and wild child Kinsey can't help but check it out. Once inside, they hear a noise from a back room, and when they go to see what it was, it turns out to be Plot Dog, that dog from the beginning who apparently just can't bark. Maybe his vocal cords got snipped, who knows? Even weirder than a dog that doesn't bark, though, is the graffiti they find on the window saying hello in a bunch of different font sizes. And worse yet still is when they pull back a sheet to reveal the dead bodies of Aunt Cheryl Cheryl and Uncle Marv, the older couple from the cold open who are now confirmed dead. Looks like some eye stuff happened to Marv there, but hey, at least he technically died in his sleep. The kids run into their parents looking for them, and they tell them what they found. Mike sends the ladies back to their trailer, which seems a little short-sighted, while he and his son head over to look at the crime scene. When they get back to their trailer, Cindy and Kinsey discover that their cell phones have been disabled by way of Nigel Thornberry smashing, and standing right behind them is that creepy doll-faced stranger. As Cindy tries to use the busted cell phone, Dollface brandishes her kitchen knife and chases the mom and daughter into the bathroom, where they lock the door and tell Dollface to quit goofing on them.
Leave us alone!
They see a sunroof-type window in the bathroom up above, and Cindy helps Kinsey climb out of it. But right as the daughter gets onto the roof, Dollface breaks through the cheap trailer door. Cindy tells Kinsey to run, and her daughter watches helplessly as Dollface comes up behind Cindy and stabs her with the knife. It's a super sad death as Kinsey watches her mom die in front of her. And what's worse is that it means no more Christina Hendricks in this movie. What the fuck did I even buy this Blu-ray for then? Come on! Kinsey makes it to the ground and takes off running, as elsewhere in the park, her dad and brother return to the trailer of Marv and Cheryl to check on the bodies. Yep, still dead. They realize the strangers must have found out they were coming due to a message Cindy left on the answering machine. And when they go to leave the trailer, they see the man in the mask himself standing outside with an axe. Boy, he loved that axe, don't he? Mike starts looking for Uncle Marv's gun in a scene that echoes James looking for an old family gun in the original. But after finding it and busting out the front door, he finds the bag-headed stranger nowhere to be found. The boys get back to their own trailer and find their broken phones, then make the even worse discovery of Cindy's corpse in the bathroom. The movie takes a proper beat to show Mike and Luke's distress before they take off to find Kinsey, who's still running away from Dollface and getting trapped by the trailer park's fence in an awesome shot where you don't see the fence until it comes into focus. Good stuff from director Johannes Roberts, who also did 47 Meters Down. While Mike and Luke are driving around shouting out Kinsey's name, a cinder block gets tossed into their windshield and sends them crashing into the wooden porch of a trailer. What's weird though is that you can clearly see it's the man in the mask throwing the cinder block at them, but less than a minute later, he's somehow in a pickup truck revving the engine at Kinsey and chasing her through the trailer park. How the fuck's that work? She hides from him in a big tube that looks kind of fun and yells at him when he aims the truck's headlights inside of it.
Leave us alone! But we've just started.
Yeah, it's a scare that was ruined by the trailers, but hey, at least Pinup Girl has finally arrived. Now we've got the band back together. Luke comes to from the car crash and finds that his dad has been impaled by a wooden beam from the porch they ran into. Oh boy, that's not good.
Tell me what to do. What do you want me to do?
Not much to do, Luke, being realistic about it. Mike tells Luke to take the gun and go find his sister, and his son only agrees to go after promising his dad that he'll come back later and help him out of this jam.
I'm proud of you.
Good last words for your son, Pops. Yep, I said last words, because after Luke leaves, the bag-headed stranger man shows up and gets into the car with Mike. In a memorably dark scene, the stranger turns on the radio so they can both jam out to Cambodia together, which is hands down Kim Wilde's best work. As Mike begs the man to let him go, the stranger silently takes out an awl, and without any perceivable emotion, stabs the pinned-down Papa in the neck with it, which kills him for good. Oh, that's what awls are good for. I always thought they were just defective screwdrivers. With his work here done, the stranger turns off the radio and cuts Kim Wilde short. Baghead is back out in his truck again, forcing Kinsey to hide from him by ducking into a random trailer. In the movie's most inexplicable scene, she follows a noise into the back room of the random trailer to find a jack-in-the-box waiting for her, and Dollface underneath a blanket? What the fuck? How did Dollface know she'd go into that trailer? Like, what if she hadn't? Would Dollface just been taking a nap for a little bit? It's kinda stupid. Dollface manages to stab Kinsey in the leg before Luke shows up with that gun and tells her to stop it. He's too afraid to shoot her though, and instead insists on flight over fight, which is a real bummer. The siblings climb into the window of another random trailer, and Luke sets the gun on a table so he can tend to Kinsey's leg wound in a real nice scene between the brother and sister.
She probably said it just like that too.
This is exactly like Luke, what the fuck did you do?
She tells us to watch our mouths.
That all ends when the truck crashes through the trailer wall in a huge jump scare that takes the gun out of commission since it had been set down on that table. The kids climb out another window, but Kinsey's leg is too messed up for her to make it very far, so Luke hides her underneath yet another trailer as he heads back to the office to call the police. That is the easiest way to win as a counselor after all. The call cuts out as he's giving the police information, which can only mean one thing: there's some nasty strangers about.
Just leave us alone!
Nah, Luke, that ain't their MO at all, which is why Pinup Girl is here and ready to get some proper screen time. Luke runs out back to where the trailer park pool is, and after the lights come on and Total Eclipse of the Heart starts playing, we get what everyone agrees is the best sequence in this movie. It starts with a wicked fucking fucking zoom in of pinup girl charging at Luke and getting a golf club to the face for her troubles. And this time, Luke ain't too afraid to close the deal. He grabs the knife that she dropped and stabs her a whole bunch of times, quivering with rage on that last one. Holy shit, he killed a stranger! I repeat, we have a stranger down. Shame that pinup girl only got a total of 3 minutes in this movie though. And this badass scene isn't finished yet, since Baghead's here with his trusty axe to get revenge on Luke for the death of his pinup gal pal.
I killed one of yours. How's that feel, huh? How's that fucking feel?
Yeah, I love all out of fucks Luke, who's able to taunt his enemies and avoid axe swings like a total G. He ends up in the pool and drags Baghead in after him, and we get one of those cool stylized scenes where the diegetic music dips in and out of the water with the camera. Luke tries to get out of the pool, but Baghead catches up to him and very sadly stabs him in the back with his knife, which fills the pool water with blood. Aw man, the pool cleaner was just here yesterday, Baghead. Now we're gonna have to call him and have him come back tomorrow. The stranger leaves Luke floating on his back in the pool as Bonnie Tyler finishes up her set. But don't count Luke out just yet. Kinsey appears out of nowhere to fish him out and save him. Good work, Kins. She hides her brother in the office and takes off to get help herself. And thankfully, it doesn't take long before she's found by a police officer. He tells her everything will be okay now that he's here, but shit, this guy about to have less screen time than Pinup Girl, because DOLLFACE comes from behind and slits his throat with a knife, giving us an extra splashy blood spray in this unrated cut I'm using. Unfortunately, this unrated version literally has no changes other than a bit more CGI blood. It's pretty disappointing. Although DOLLFACE has the keys to the cop car, which she shows to Kinsey in a very ghost-face way, Kinsey's got the shotgun, and just like her brother, she is all out of fucks to give. Kinsey gets out of the car and demasks the injured DOLLFACE, giving us our first very clear view of a stranger's face in either of these movies. And with Kinsey's follow-up question, we get a twist on that classic line from the original.
Why are you doing this? Why not?
Maybe because it's like super mean, DOLLFACE? Also because it's likely to get you killed, as Kinsey proves when she double taps the DOLLFACE dame and kills her cold-blooded against the ground. Holy shit, Kins. That might end up being a little traumatizing later in life, but way to go. It was totally necessary. Kinsey gets in the police car, but before she can start it up, Baghead comes from behind in his pickup truck and rear-ends the fuck out of that cop car. He pulls up alongside her. Hey, sorry, didn't see you there. And then takes off again, but he's back before you know it to T-bone the police vehicle and send her straight on out of the driver's side door. That last hit left Baghead's pickup entwined with the other vehicle, and after Kinsey sees gas leaking all over the place, she takes out her lighter and tosses it into the chaos, creating a giant double car explosion. Look at Kinsey, casually, walking away like action movie hero girl. Everything's glowing and blowing to bits right behind her, but in another moment of dark comedy, the flaming pickup truck lurches to life and starts driving after her. Damn, this guy's still going? Kinsey limps her way to one of the exit bridges of the map and halfway across it falls to the ground. Lucky for her, as she's crawling away towards the finish line, Baghead decides to stop the truck and get out to finish the job on foot. As air supply grows distorted on the soundtrack, we see Baghead's bag has melted to his head, and the injury ends up being enough to get him to his knees. Oh, also, it probably doesn't help that he's got a big shard of glass sticking out of his torso. I'm still not sure if you should take it out or leave it in. Oh, he took it out. And he's down! Kinsey gets away and flags down a passing truck, but the driver quickly changes her mind about helping Kinsey out when she sees the man in the mask somehow still kicking. Kinsey climbs in the back of the truck while the lady drives away, and a baseball bat to the dome knocks Baghead off the back. No ticket. We get an enjoyable, if obvious, Texas Chainsaw nod as Kinsey gets away, and since we see Baghead lying there with his eyes open, I'm gonna put him on the count. But if another sequel comes out and shows that he's somehow still alive, don't come back to this video and leave a comment about how I was wrong, okay? I can't see into the future, you fucks. A denouement shows the siblings in a hospital, with both of them alive, if not exactly well. In fact, we see that Kinsey's probably gonna be dealing with trauma for quite some time to come. Yeah, Kins, maybe just make sure you don't move to an area with a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses. After 10 long years of preparation, how many kills did the strangers get this time through? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you're never coming round. 8 people died in The Stranger's Prey at Night, 4 times what its predecessor had. The victims included 4 women and 4 men, so they were evenly split among genders, but sadly, not a single golden god among them. With a runtime of 86 minutes, we had a kill on average every 10.75 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Mike. None of the movie's kills are anything amazing out of context, but this drawn out scene with Baghead sitting next to Mike and jamming out to sophisticated 80s pop is one of the best parts of the movie. Doll machete for lamest kill will go to Cindy, because goddamn it, Pray at Night, I came here for Christina Hendricks, and that was not enough Christina Hendricks. And that's it. The Strangers Pray at Night came out in 2018 and single-handedly gave me a new appreciation of Kim Wilde. Seriously, Cambodia's fucking dope. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count. I want to thank some patrons who have been with me for over a year. Casey Schellenberger, Natalie S.K., Rebecca Ann Driscoll, Madison Dalio, Brendan Donovan, Emily Bulick. Emily, I love you. We've been friends since like middle school. How you doing? Hit me up on Facebook. How'd you like your second holiday treat? Got one more for you. Can you guess what it is? It's a pattern with the other two. It's also like the most requested video right now. All right, y'all, be good people.